Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. I'm already nervous about Chicago Med Season 10's finale, and if you love it, you should too. As the clock ticks down to the Chicago Med Season 10 finale, we should all be worried about what's to come in the last episode, especially after the showrunner's recent comments. The NBC medical drama, created by Dick Wolf and Matt Olmstead, follows the lives of the doctors and nurses at Gaffney Chicago Medical Center. Over the course of Chicago Med's 10 seasons, the characters have faced many obstacles, some more thrilling and frightening than others. Unfortunately, it sounds like they are about to undergo even more hurdles in the finale. Season 10's fall finale ended with devastating cliffhangers, and it appears as if the overall final, which premieres in late May, will follow suit. As many will recall, Chicago Med Season 10, Episode 8 left viewers with more questions than answers, the most pertinent being whether Sharon Goodwin would die. Dean Archer's fate at Gaffney was also up in the air. Thankfully, the next episode, which aired 2 months later, resolved the cliffhangers, revealing that Goodwin survived and Archer decided to stay at the hospital. However, fans should expect another torturous wait, given the teases surrounding the Season 10 final. According to showrunner Alan McDonald's interview with TV Line, the ending of Chicago Med Season 10 will be thrilling from beginning to end. While exciting episodes are always welcome, the bad news is that the finale likely features more heartbreak than happiness. Regarding Chicago Med Season 10's last episode, McDonald revealed, "Based on McDonald's comments, it sounds like the Season 10 finale will take big swings. From Dr. Charles and Goodwin facing their demons to returning Chicago Med characters, the upcoming episode is bound to feature bold storytelling. This could go one of two ways. Either Chicago Med Season 10 ends with a memorable, gripping finale that has viewers anxious for Season 11, or the hour's risks don't pay off, and the teased developments are more disappointing than they are riveting." Dr. Charles and Goodwin undoubtedly have big roles in Chicago Med Season 10, Episode 22, Out of Your Control, given that McDonald singled the two characters out while speaking with TV Line. So if fans are going to be concerned about anyone, it should be Dr. Charles and Goodwin. The good news is that Goodwin has already had a near-death experience this season. As a result, it's rather unlikely that the writers will put her life in danger once more by copying what happened in the fall finale. Perhaps Goodwin's story revolves around her contemplating her place at Gaffney. A career change might be in the cards for her character, which would account for her personal and professional deeply difficult decisions. As for Dr. Charles, the return of his daughter Anna could be what McDonald alluded to in his comments. However, McDonald specified that unexpected faces would appear in Chicago Med Season 10, Episode 22, confirming that more than one former character is coming back. Chicago Med cast members who have exited over the years, like Brian T's Dr. Ethan Choi or Nick Gelfus, Dr. Will Halstead, could make surprise cameos in the Season 10 final. The options are endless. Only time will tell who returns to Gaffney and why they do so, and until then, we can only speculate. Regarding McDonald's teases about the final minutes of the Chicago Med Season 10 final, the episode might end with one or more characters' lives hanging in the balance. Not many main characters have died in the one Chicago TV show, at least compared to Chicago Fire and Chicago PD, so it's possible that the medical drama has finally decided to go down that route and put a doctor or nurse in critical danger. Whatever the case, unless McDonald is lying for some reason, which is very unlikely, fans can expect Chicago Med Season 10 to end on at least one cliffhanger. I'm already nervous about Chicago Med Season 10's finale, and if you love it, you should too. Let's be honest, Chicago Med knows how to grab us by the scrubs and never let go. Whether it's heart-stopping trauma cases or the slow-burning romances that unfold between surgeries and CPR, this show has a way of making us care deeply about every glance, every decision, and every code blue. But as Season 10 barrels toward its finale, there's a nervous pit growing in my stomach, and if you've been on this ride since day one, or even if you just hopped on somewhere around Dr. Archer's gritty entrance, you should be feeling it too. Why? Because we've been here before. We've survived finals that left us with jaws on the floor, clutching throw pillows like trauma victims ourselves. But something about this final feels different, tense, ominous. Like the writers have been methodically placing narrative dominoes all season, and they're about to push the first one. Let's break down why Season 10's ending has all the ingredients for a devastating, unforgettable, and possibly game-changing finale. 1. The cast is in flux. When Chicago Med starts letting cast announcements and cryptic interviews trickle out before the finale even airs, it's a bad sign for our blood pressure. There's buzz, quiet exits, maybe even surprise returns. We've already seen fan favorites like Ethan Choi say goodbye, but we've also watched new faces, like Dr. Zola Ahmad, begin to carve out a space in our hearts. That usually means one thing: somebody's about to take their final lap through the ER doors. I don't want to name names, okay I do, but I've got a sinking feeling about Maggie. She's been the heart of the ED for 10 seasons, holding everything and everyone together. But recently, the show's been giving her more introspective moments, talking about purpose and closure, which are final red flags in the One Chicago universe. If she walks away, or worse, if she's wheeled out under fluorescent lights, I'm not sure we're ready. 2. The relationships are too good right now. In classic TV fashion, when relationships feel stable and happy, it usually means something horrible is about to happen. Just look at Crockett Marcel. After an emotional roller coaster involving guilt over a patient's death and a recent quiet reconnection with someone new, he's finally in a healthier place. But that only makes me more suspicious. Are the writers setting him up for a loss, a betrayal, or worse, a sacrifice? And then there's Dr. Charles. His storyline this season has been beautifully rich. His relationship with his daughter is healing, he's formed an emotional bond with a new patient, and he's had some of the best scenes in recent memory, which is exactly why I'm worried. Charles is due for something big. Maybe a crisis of conscience, maybe a personal loss, or maybe a cliffhanger that puts his fate in question. 3. The clues are hiding in plain sight. Subtle story threads have been stitched into the season that feel like they're all heading toward one collision: the hospital's finances, the shifting power dynamics, the return of drama, the ethical dilemmas that have been simmering just beneath the surface, Dr. Archer's unpredictable decisions, Dr. Asher pushing boundaries with reproductive health patients, and Sharon Goodwin trying to keep it all from combusting. These aren't just plot points, they're pressure points, and when Chicago Med starts tapping on pressure points, someone usually ends up bleeding on the floor or being transferred out in disgrace. The show doesn't do subtle when it comes to finals. It builds tension like a cardiac monitor, beeping faster and faster until a flatline. 4. The crossovers are inevitable. Let's not forget, Chicago Med doesn't exist in a vacuum. The One Chicago universe is interconnected, which means if a fire breaks out across town on Chicago Fire, we might see victims rushed into Med's trauma bay, and if there's a police investigation heating up on Chicago PD, you can bet the fallout will reach our doctors. So when Season 10's finale looms, I get nervous not just because of what's happening on the show, but because of what might spill in from the other shows. A multi-show emergency? A citywide disaster? A character crossover that leaves our staff picking up the pieces? It's all on the table, and that kind of chaos usually means tragedy is just one stretcher away. 5. The show isn't afraid of breaking our hearts. We know what Chicago Med is capable of. Remember Dr. Rhodes' goodbye? Remember Dr. Becker's spiral? Remember when Connor lost his father in a scene so intense it felt like we were the ones being operated on? This show hurts us, and it does it well. That's why Season 10's finale feels like a slow-building storm. It's been too calm for too long, too quiet, like we're all standing in a hospital corridor, and the tornado sirens are just starting to wail in the distance.